Thank you, Aaron, for always finding us incredible talent in Seattle. It's very lucky. So today is a very special day because we are dedicating our 11th tapestry, the Tapestry of the Tao. And you will look around and you will see that we have space for 12. A couple of weeks ago, James Twyman was here, and he is the collaborator. He's the one who brought an order to all of the prayers and to all of the altars. We asked him many years ago if we could use these, and he said, absolutely, I don't own them. And what I didn't know was the story behind all of our altars and all of our prayers. And what James told me was that in around 1986, Pope John Paul II had a conclave in Assisi in Italy. And he invited all the leaders of the major world religions, including the Dalai Lama, to come together and to pray for peace and to kind of heal the separation that exists between the different religions. And the result was all of these prayers that were written by the leaders of their religion. So after 9/11, we realized that part of the separation and division that exists in the world is because of religion, because my religion's right and your religion's wrong, and this is the right one and this is the wrong one. And so we thought, what if we had a tapestry to each of the world's religions, because really what they are is windows or doorways into a different view of God, of how we view not only God, but the path to God, right? And so that process started after 9/11 in 2001, and here we are, 2016, and we are ready to dedicate our 11th tapestry. It takes about 1 or 2 years to create one because the team immerses themselves in whatever discipline they are seeking to know, and that takes time. And we have one more, which is the Baha'i tapestry. So I think there's going to be a field trip to Chicago because there's a great Baha'i temple there. Anybody want to go? Let's all go to Chicago to the Baha'i temple. So I would like to invite Annie and the team up to introduce. I thought it would be better to unveil it at the beginning. Let's wait a sec. And before we begin, Annie, you may have included this in yours, but I know that a number of our community members have worked on the different tapestries. If you have worked, sponsored, contributed to any of these tapestries in the room, would you please stand so that we can acknowledge you? Yeah. And for this tapestry, we want to particularly call out Melissa Mager, who sponsored this one. Thank you. And now, I'll hand it to you, Annie.
Welcome again. For this particular tapestry, I, Sandy Diedrichsen, Gail Macy, Evelyn Reingold, Colleen Hart, Emma Hart, Carol Fern, Dana Hufford, Karen Matthews, and Suzanne Gamber have all contributed their time and their talent to this tapestry. Pull hard. Once we created the design of this particular tapestry, everything flowed easily. We experienced no glitches like we have with all of the others, which resulted with every single one of the other 10 in a major design change. This one, not at all, but that said, we began this tapestry in January of 2013. It's taken so long, partly because we did take a break and created the 12 banners that you remember illustrating the 12 powers, but also partly it's the design process. The Tao Te Ching, the best-known text of Taoism, begins. The way you can go isn't the real way. The name you can say isn't the real name. This fluidity and non-namingness made creating something in physical form extremely challenging. In the course of our lengthy study of the Tao and Taoism as a religion, Colleen Hart introduced us to Tai Chi, Chris Shaw introduced us to the five-element system. We listened to Greg Barrett, a Unity minister, who talked about Tao and unity. Gail Macy read us her graduate paper on Taoism, the concept. We visited the Taoist Institute studies in Greenwood several times. We invited Michael Bogar here, and he did a class series on Taoism. Evelyn Reingold showed us an incredible virtual pond at the Seattle Art Museum, which proved very inspiring for our design. And we read countless books and millions of tapes and web and, all that stuff. The more we studied, the more complex and baffling things became. We finally made the decision, as we did with the Christian tapestry, to go back to one basic principle of this spiritual path and essentially ignore all of the religious symbolism and the laws and the gods and the many, many trappings of Taoism as it is practiced as a religion. What our concept illustrates is a very basic idea of the Tao, that this material world, the world called the 10,000 things, is essentially a distraction. That formless truth exists certainly apart from, but intertwined with, this material world. We begin to master ourselves by education, observation, practice, play, and by seeking the simplest path. We have the central circle, which is a multi-layered pond. And if you come close, you can see we collaged this. And in the pond, you will see food and fashion and sports and politics and guns and religions and many, many other pleasant and unpleasant distractions. The pool is designed to be the shiniest, most eye-catching part of this tapestry. It's also designed to portray the yin-yang, which is the most recognizable symbol of Tao. We used coins, another element of the 10,000 things, as the dots in the yin and the yang. Surrounding the pool is a stone wall. Or is it? It's also a dragon, a symbol in Taoism of eternity, wisdom, and power. Is the dragon eating its tail or not? Lao Tzu, representing all the many sages and teachers of this spiritual path, sits calmly in focused meditation upon the dragon stone. Or is he just napping? The background element is abstracted water and cloud forms. Normally, we will take a break of 6 weeks between tapestries. This time, we are skipping that and jumping right into the 12th tapestry in August, the Baha'i one, as Karen mentioned, because we are firmly committed to having all 12 tapestries completed and displayed in this sanctuary before the building's torn down and our new sanctuary is built. So you can expect one in early fall of next year. We invite you to join us in the library following the service for treats and to talk tapestry. Thank you.
Isn't it beautiful? So you can come and walk up here and look at it later. And you know, we've had many different people on each team. Annie has been the one constant for all these years, that she has been on every single one of them. So thank you, Annie, for your leadership and your dedication to seeing this vision through. Also, a side note, James Twyman said that he wants to do something special for the 30th anniversary of the prayers, and he asked if he could do it here, and I said, well, of course. So we're going to do that in October, one of the Sundays, where we're going to have a James Twyman celebration and dedication of all the altars. So that'll be really fun. So the word Tao means